Hey, welcome back to a very new video, but if you're new here, my name's Katja and on this channel I talk mostly about K-pop, books, mangas, language studies, all the things that I love in life. And this is the very first vlog of 2024 and it's January, a Monday to be precise. Well, is it precise because I'm not naming a date, but anyway, you get the gist. So, I wasn't expecting to film this month because there are so many other videos that I want to put out, but yeah. So here's the thing. In the very first week of January I started to buy a lot of PCs and they are supposed to get in this upcoming week, and I was like, I really want to film again. I haven't filmed in such a long time because I decided to take a break in December. I'm missing it. I really want to share my thoughts again on screen because my friends and I don't have the same interests. Well, for a small part we do, but for a very big part we don't. And it's so fun to just talk to a camera, to the people who are watching or not. I don't care. I like to just talk about it, and it's so cool to meet people in the community and just talk about these niche stuff, I guess. Well, is it really niche? I have the feeling once you are in the community, like for example K-pop manga or books, then it doesn't feel like a niche because you're with so many people, but sometimes it really does feel like it when you are looking at the people around you. Anyway, enough rambling. What are the things that I want to talk about during this week vlog? First of all, the PCs of course, but they aren't in as of yet. That will happen throughout the week, I suppose. But I started watching a new anime and I'm so excited because it was different than I expected, but a good different, and we love when that happens, of course. So I finally started watching the Apothecary Diaries. Even though I haven't fully read the first volume of the manga series, I just wanted to get on with it and I really wanted to watch something rather than reading something. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna subscribe to Crunchyroll again, watch Spy Family, watch some other new animes, and then something said to me in my brain like, go watch the Apothecary Diaries. And now I really want to start reading the manga simultaneously while watching the show because it made me laugh so many times, but it's also such a good story build-up, if that makes sense. It's like there's drama, there is humor, there is action, there is so much going on, all the things that I basically love to see. Yeah, I really want to start reading. Finally, well, I always wanted to start reading, but for some reason I never got onto it because there was always something happening. By the way, if you had the feeling that you could not read the title on my manga, you might be correct if you can't read German, because most of the mangas that I read are in German. I'm not German myself, however German is one of my focus language studies. Language? So yeah, I read a lot of mangas in German also because I live close to Germany, so I can have easy access to the mangas, and also it's so nice to just read it. That's why it's also... Wait, is there a mark? Oh no, sorry. Anyway, I will talk more about the manga and the anime later down this vlog because I also want to show you something else, another book that I'm actually reading, and it's Check and Mate by Ellie Hazelwood. And this one is so cool because the Dutch version have these sprayed edges. So cool. I'm already quite far in this book. Like, this is read, this is what I still have left. I'm planning to finish this book somewhere this week, but if you're not familiar with Ellie Hazelwood, her works, to be honest, I wasn't either, before starting this book because this is my very first Ellie Hazelwood book, but I really like it. This was her first YA novel that she put out, and it is about this girl and something that I did not expect when going in. This is not a spoiler, you immediately read about it, but she comes from a very tough upbringing. We don't know yet what is exactly going on in her upbringing, but we do know that she was really good at chess. But then she gave it up when she was around 14. And now she's 18, she finished high school, and instead of going to college or uni, she decided to work instead so she can basically feed her family because, yeah, she's not in a good place with her family when it comes down to money. And then this opportunity presents itself that she can get a scholarship and play chess at the same time because this scholarship allows her to work in the chess world. Yeah, it's a little bit like the Queen Gambit, but then YA version. It feels like. And there's this guy, because the reason why she got this scholarship was because she won from the world's best chess player. And a lot of things get heated over there, especially because chess is unfortunately still a very male-dominated field. And then she comes in there as a very young girl. Well, she's so talented at playing chess that she never knew that she could actually work in that field. It's very interesting. Yeah, then again, when it comes to explaining the story, I'm not that far. But I really like the pacing of Ellie Hazelwood. I love how she builds up this kind of angst. But also you get surprised on multiple occasions, which I also love. I do already foresee a lot of drama that's gonna go down in maybe a chapter or two. But I'm enjoying this read so far. And I just checked the time, me talking to my camera, and that has been a very long time. So I'm gonna wrap this first part up by just saying these are the things that I'm gonna talk about this upcoming week. I hope you like it and that you keep on watching because I'm excited for this week. So I read quite a few pages today and I'm now at page 187. We are somewhere in the story that is basically the part that we are in the final stint of the plot, I guess. So a lot of things has happened right before this, and everything that I want to say about it is basically a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it. But the storyline is exploring a lot of things, which I love. However, there's one thing that I don't love, and that is the amount of pop culture references in here. So the thing is, I don't mind a good pop culture reference. However, a lot of these things named in here will probably be outdated in 2 years. Worse, this is a YA novel. A lot of pop culture references in here, I understand them because I'm 28. These were the pop culture references from when I was a teenager or beginning of my 20s. I'm wondering if Gen Z, or no, even better, Gen Alpha, is gonna get this book. I am scared that they won't understand half the things of it. And by the time Gen Alpha is ready to read this, it's probably doesn't make any sense anymore. So yeah, that's a little bit of a downside. However, I do love the character development. I really love this guy. Actually, I prefer this guy over this girl. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is. Nevertheless, I do like the other parts of the writing style, how gripping it is, how fast-paced it is. It makes you want to keep on reading non-stop. It's Wednesday and today is mail day and I got 2 envelopes, so let's check out what's in here. First, I got some Bang Chan and Hiyyih cards, and the person who sent me this, she was so cute. It's so funny because she lives in Berlin and I used to live in Berlin, so we had this whole talk about Berlin and K-pop stuff over there. So cute. And she sent me some goodies. I will show everything later, but this is how it looks in the card. Apparently it's Bang Chan day because although the second envelope is full of Bang Chan and she put a Channy goodie in here. How cute! And also Totoro and other cute stickers. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I was planning to show all the PCs at once, but for some reason my other PCs decided not to show up today. It's Thursday, by the way, and yeah, so I'm just gonna show you guys Bang Chan for now. These were all the PCs of her that I bought over the last few weeks. I got 3 pre-orders and 1 normal photo card, and these are all from the Magic Hour. There are a couple more that I want to buy, but I'm not gonna buy all the PCs because, whoa, there were so many PCs this era. So I'm just pick and choose and just go with that. It's Friday, so yesterday I had a major headache and I'm still tired from it, so I didn't film too much yesterday, but I just wanted to say that I finished check and made, and let me talk you guys through it. So here's the thing. I liked the overall story. I truly cared about the characters and I loved them and I like the plotting. However, besides that, I was not very fond of all the pop culture references. I also didn't necessarily like where it was going with the main character, and nothing to her fault. It was just, I thought it was very poorly written what happened with the characters that are around her. And I'm also not talking about this guy necessarily. I think he was fine. Everything was correct in the way how he handled things and everything. But I am talking about her mother, her 2 sisters, and her best friend. I did not like that this main character had to apologize for something. I am not gonna give out any spoilers for whatsoever. But I didn't like that she felt the pressure to say sorry. Because in the end of the day, this character had a very hard and tough life. And no one was supporting her. Even though no one was supporting her, she cared enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna support them wherever I can. And I have the feeling that everyone is so ungrateful. And yes, they say they are grateful somewhere in the end. But I really wish that they would have apologized to her because they were in the wrong. Not her, because she was acting out because she felt that she had to do what she did. And I mean, also for the mom. So I liked her as an overall character, but not towards her. Because again, she finally got good medicine because she was making money. She was making dimes. And she's not even saying thank you. I am sorry. The reason why you can take care finally of your other 2 daughters, not even your oldest daughter, no, your other 2 daughters, is because of her. Because she was providing for you. So don't act like, oh no, I've got this. No, because she did this for you. So okay, so the thing is, I get where the author is coming from. Like, she wanted to have a main character that was carrying the world on her shoulders. But I am so annoyed for this main character, because I have the feeling she's still not understood, except for him. He understands her, but not the others. And it always annoys me when we have these main characters that are carrying the world on their shoulders and everyone is blaming everything on her poor decision making, which I don't want to say that these are poor decision makings, because the thing is, she is handling things in the way because she has no other way to go. Her little sisters, they have another way to go around things because they have options. She doesn't have an option. She is on this path called option, and the problem is there are no side routes to get off this road because she has to go for this one, or it's going back and do something completely different, but you know, because it is backwards, that you are not having progression. And so she has no choice but then go forward. Sorry, these were a lot of thoughts about the ending. So the ending, I loved the way how the author decided to go a different route about the ending. I thought it was very, very fitting. But yeah, overall, it was good. But I am so annoyed with that plot point that I'm like, this is not right. This doesn't feel right. So yeah. Other than that, I truly enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I stayed up very late on Wednesday through Thursday night, staying awake, wanting to finish this book. So other than that, I loved it. I loved all the chess games that were going around. I loved her dynamics with the other chess players, and I also liked that the character is so strong and she has a very distinct persona already. Even though she is carrying the world on her shoulders, she's doing great, and I really liked it. But yeah, I am still super, super bummed about that plot line, about no one apologizing towards her, because I don't think she's in the wrong. But maybe because I have such strong feelings, that's also a good sign about the book. I don't know. I will just sit on it for a while because I've been rambling about this book for so long. So, the Apothecary Diaries, I finished watching it up until the point that's out as of right now. And I love it so much. So I'm now gonna read the manhwa as well. I've been trying and wanting to read this manhwa for so long. But yeah, I'm finally gonna get to it this weekend. So these were all the updates as of right now, and I have to get back to work. On this very gloomy Saturday, I received mail. This is definitely an envelope which contains some PCs that I've been on the hunt for the last few weeks. I got the 2 album PCs of Rockstar. So I was on the hunt for a lot of Rockstar PCs, and for some reason they were so hard to get this time around, and I think it all had to do with Christmas and the holiday break. So from this era it took a while to collect, and I'm still on the hunt for some PCs, but hey, it's coming together. From collecting PCs to K-pop and all the good stuff, I want to talk about language studies, because I know it has been a hot minute, for a reason though, because I had a lot going on for the past 2 years. I did not have the brain capacity to study a lot, and if I did, it was mostly shadowing. So for example, watching something in a different language and reading a little bit here and there, but not fully studying. And that's definitely something I want to change in 2024, because I've got a brain capacity again, so I'm super happy about that. But I also want to say to you guys, like, if you're struggling with a language because there is something going on in your life that is priority to anything else, just know that it's okay to take a step back and use the capacity of your brain that's still left for healing, for your work, or for something else that is taking care of you. Because language studies, even though I love it so freaking much, it can be a lot and it takes up a lot of space in your brain, especially when you're still learning a language. For example, I'm still learning things in English, but it doesn't take that much capacity anymore because I'm fluent in it. And yeah, that's nice. But when learning a new language, it is gonna take a lot of your brain. And if you have to step back, do it. Just take care of yourself. It's super important. But for this year, like I said, I am gonna be back in the language study game. I'm so excited. Something that I do for every year is basically making a list of mostly 5 points of things that I want to challenge myself, like language goals for that certain year. For this year around, I actually only made 4. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with 4. Normally it's always gonna be 5, but I was like, no. Well, technically there is kind of a 5th one, because with Korean there's a part 1 and a part 2. So maybe it's kind of 5, but we'll have to see. I will go more into depth in another video, a special video of my language goals for 2024. However, I do want to talk to you guys about this because it's Saturday and it's the weekend. I like to always plan a lot of things, especially in January, because January is my administration month. So I get basically ready for the whole year. And on this particular Saturday, it's actually very calm. There's no one else in the house except for me, so I can just focus on certain things. And what I like to do is, especially in January, like I said, is to look at all my lists, like my bucket list, my personal goal list, and then my language goal list. And I basically make a plan for the whole year on how I want to achieve certain goals. So for this year, the languages that are having my focus, first place is gonna be Korean. I really want to get back on it, on the bandwagon, studying the language and actually studying by the online course of Talk to Me in Korean. The reason why I study, by the way, with Talk to Me in Korean is because it really works well for my brain, the way how they have their lessons, and also because I'm not planning on moving for a very long time to Korea one day. So if I would, for example, I'm actually planning to work there with a Korean company and stuff like that, I probably would use a different method to be able to speak Korean. But for me, it's really about understanding the language, so I can watch K-dramas, understand the music better, and also I've always wanted to learn an Asian language, and for some reason a couple of years back I instantly clicked with Korean. So yeah, it's not that high level that I want to study it at, it's just I want to be able to do it for fun. And yes, it would be amazing if one day I get fluent, but that's not the main purpose of me doing this. Another language that I am gonna be studying is German, even though I actually gained a lot of knowledge the past year, which isn't too crazy because in 2023 German was my main focus due to work. And I can already say to you guys that last year I started working in German, so that's super cool. However, for this upcoming year I want to get better at speaking in it, because I can read it very well nowadays. I can understand, it's okay, it depends on the accent that the other person is talking to me in. But yeah, it's getting better, and that's definitely a focus point for next year to speak it better, and or sorry, for this year. I sometimes forget it's already 2024, and get my complete level to be 2, the European standard of language speaking. So then there is another language, and that's French. For some time I actually wanted to study Italian, but last year I found out that it wasn't really working with me. So I'm switching to French, and one of the things that I'm right now doing is also to figure out how do I want to study these languages, by the way. So for example, German, I am just gonna keep on reading in German, and I am planning to go travel more often to Germany. With Korean, I have already some books, but I am looking at ordering some other things that I'm gonna show you guys after this clip. And with French, I just realized that I don't want to study it by book anymore, or not at first. I first want to find out what my level is in French, because I realized last year that my French is actually better than I thought. For some reason, I'm always amazed how good my French is when once I have a need of the language, which isn't too crazy because I lived in Paris for a hot minute when I was 19. Then the other language is Japanese, and the same goes with French. I've decided that I'm not going to study it by book for now. I might never do. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. But just with French, I'm also going to study it more in an online app, and then figure out what I want to do next. Today I've been looking at the books or how I want to study these languages. With Korean, I found out that I actually want to invest in some new books. And with German, well, I'm just buying my German mangas, and that's kind of it. And the other languages, I might want to have another look in 3 to 4 months. Since for every quarter, when I'm learning a language, I am basically reviewing what works, what doesn't work, and then I adjust my schedule towards it. For the last few weeks, I've been on an anime binge watch because I barely watched anything else besides some YouTube. At the start of this week, I unfortunately already finished the Apothecary Diaries up until the point where the episodes are released of so far. And now I'm watching Spy Family, but I'm also almost done with that as well, so there's a crisis very, very soon of what to watch next. Oh no, does this mean that I got to the end of Spy Family Season 2? No!